Yo, what's up everybody? How's it going? Today we're playing Open Angel Arena. A few things. So first of all, the game is fully playable again. I know that over the past few days, almost weeks, we've had this bug where people couldn't load in properly. It's fixed. We found it last night. It's just completely taken care of. You don't have to worry about it anymore. Yeah, we know it took a long time. I'm sorry. But it was just a very difficult bug to find. It was some really weird shit. So essentially, like, I guess to kind of like sum it up, and I'm sure like Chris or Carlos who are in chat will gladly correct me, but essentially when you finished a match of regular Dota and got the end screen, the Dota plus end screen, what would happen is that some sort of JavaScript file in some part of Dota got moved from one folder to another. And that messed with our that messed with our loading screen for some reason. I don't know why, but it did. So now what we did is we just made it so that that doesn't really happen or doesn't really impact it anymore, and then it works. But it's just such a weird thing because it doesn't really serve any obvious purpose, and the file only gets moved after you finish a game, right? You need to actually get to the end screen of a game of a game. It doesn't have to be Dota, but of a custom game as well. But you need to get to the end screen of something in Dota, and only then does the bug happen. So it's just very, very odd. Very odd. But we found it, and it's fixed now. It loaded a file that never gets unloaded, so would stomp over our file that had the same name. Yeah, something like that. Right? But it's fixed now. Right? We figured it out, it's all taken care of, and the game is fully playable again. Now, on that note, if any of you are interested in helping out development with OAA, I know I say this a lot, but like the game is open source, you can find all of the stuff on GitHub, but this time I come with a little bit of a twist. If you go to our GitHub right now, you will find a lot of issues on there that have so-called bug bounties attached to them, which aren't always necessarily about bugs. In our case, they can also just be features. Most of the time they actually are features. We just use the name bug bounties. But if you complete those issues, you will get that money. And we're talking about like, you know, good money here. Like, it's not, you know, like you're not gonna be able to make a living off of it. Well, I don't know. Depends on where you're from, I suppose. But it's some money. Like, for example, if you make a boss for us, that's $50. And that's just the code. You don't have to do any of the models. You don't have to do a custom model or anything like that. Right? And in fact, if you do make a custom model, that's another 100. Right? Like, that just gives, like, just, we're willing to drop another 100 on making a boss model. Right? Now, the way this works is you can claim these, like, issues. So you can say, hey, I'm working on this, and from that point on, this is yours. As long as you regularly show us progress. Right, as long as you prove regularly that you're actually working on it. And we've got like a guideline for that in place. You can just take a look at that if you're interested. But yeah, that's kind of the situation, and I think it would be really cool. Some of you were to go take a look, I guess. Right, and as I mentioned, there are like there's some money in there. Right, again, like doing the code for a boss is $50, doing a model for a boss is 100, right? And yeah, just take a look around. Like, we're not being stingy with this. We've got 3.5 grand to spend, and we're spending it. Right? So yeah, that's kind of the situation, I guess. And I kind of really want to stress that what we are, like, we're really hoping to get this stuff done soon. Alright, so and I think that it will actually attract some people. So if you're interested in this, you know, and you're like, oh yeah, I could use that money, and that seems like something I could do, right? I recommend that you get started soon, because else other people will go claim that money, right? And that's kind of, it will be unfortunate now, wouldn't it? So yeah. Oh, I feel like I'm gonna melt here. Feels bad, man. But yeah, our GitHub is github.com/openangelarena/OAA. It's very simple. You'll find it. Or you can just Google GitHub Open Angel Arena. You will, like, seriously, it's right there. It's right there. So, yeah. That's the situation. So, I hope some of you go give that a shot. Alright. And, yeah. Today we're just playing. Now, we've got a lot of changes coming. And a lot of them are gonna be quite crazy. Like, there are, you know, like some obvious things. Like, for example, of course there's going to be, and like I already mentioned, it's going to be like a new map. And of course there's going to be new bosses and all of that, right? But for example, one thing that always freaks people out whenever I say it is that we're just removing the cave. You know, the farming cave, you know, this area, delete it. Rip. Yeah, I'm just decided to remove it. Just good night, farming cave. Good night, sweet prince. That's one of the things.
But why would you delete Warp Dragon's farming buffer?
No sheet. Oh, well, I got him. Reasonably happy about that. No, I don't need two of these. So, yeah, I guess that's kind of the situation. Right? I'm really excited for it. I guess a lot of cool stuff coming. And I'm hoping that some of it will, like, fundamentally shake up the game in, like, a really good way. Like, after having worked on it for so long now, and now after the tournament and all of that, like, I really have gotten, like, a much better understanding of what the game is and what the game can be. And, yeah, I'm hoping I'll be able to, like, use that understanding of it and turn it into something really cool. So, yeah. So that's kind of the idea. Alright, like, we'll see what happens. But yeah, one of the new things is, like, the cave is getting removed and all of that.
Just get a sentry. Wait, I'm getting one. Just stay there.
There's Ricky. That's annoying. Yeah, Ricky is an annoying little hero. We're playing Winter Barman here. I find Winter Barman to be very fun in this game. She's super, super, super entertaining. So, what do you think of the concept of there are no counters, just difficult matchups? I mean, that's just fundamentally, like, I don't know, like, as a blatant statement like that, that's just not true. Like, that all comes down to context. Right? Like, rock is not a difficult matchup for paper. Wait, scissors. Right? Rock is not a difficult matchup for scissors. Rock is just a counter to scissors. Right? So you can't just make, like, a blatant statement like that and then just, you know, expect it to be true for all contexts. That doesn't work. So what's the new comeback mechanic? That's actually a question a lot of people have been asking, which is like, well, if you're removing the cave, like, what's the new comeback mechanic? I have some plans that are gonna be a little bit more intricate, I suppose. But the basic idea that I'm kind of trying to get to is that I don't think that we need to have a forced comeback mechanic like the cave. I think instead we can just make a good map. Like, that's what I want the comeback mechanic to be. I just want it to be a good map which has room for comeback. Right? It doesn't need to be an incredibly forced mechanic like the cave, which is really what it is. Right? Like, the cave is essentially us saying, well, you know, we don't really know how to make it so you can come back on the regular map, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna transport you to a different map, and then you play on a different map, and get money on there. Right, like it's essentially what the cave was. So, moving away from that and more moving towards the direction of actually, like, letting it do things. Or, like, letting you do things and letting you actually have, you know, more space and all of that. You'll see, there's a new map coming. Anyway, this right here, by the way, look at this. This is our champions bottle. Alright, we've got Kindergarten on here and an Open Tryhard Arena are the fall champions. So that's kind of cool. Alright, I think that's kind of exciting as well that that's in the game. But yeah. I guess that's about it. And then in the future, I'm hoping to get beyond the summit to stream the next Open Angel Arena tournament. Right? Like, I'm hoping that we're gonna be on their channel, on their broadcasting, like broadcast by them, by their studio. And I'm hoping that we are gonna have another fundraiser. And my goal for the next fundraiser, whenever that's gonna be, is 5k. I don't want to get 10k. I think that's a bit unreasonable. I don't expect us to get there. I think 5k might happen, and that's kind of like my upper goal, I guess, right? Like, if we get to 5k, then I'm gonna be very happy about it. And I think that would be great for another tournament prize pool. That's enough to get people excited. Yeah. And that's kind of the situation we're in. So we'll see how that goes, right? No, we can't get in there. Oh, alright. Time to get Aghanim's. Aghanim's on the Winter Wyvern. That's a good shit. That's a good shit. Because now we can, like, float about the place and do nasty stuff. Like that. Alright. Yeah, this gotta go. I mean, I'll do it if nobody else wants to. But it's not really that optimal for me. Anyway. I'm also, like, one thing that let's actually kind of talk about one thing that I've been thinking a lot about is mana boots. So mana boots are definitely something that need to be reworked. Right? Like, as they are right now, they're a bit different from all other boots. Because every other boot in the game requires you to do a thing. Right? You always have to do something. You have to, you know, with the Tranquils, you have to run around. And then after running around, you have to kill a creep. Hello. No, not right now. But in a bit. Okay. Okay. Oh. Ugh, I'm dead. Okay. What do you have? Okay. Well, I'll just put it over here. Okay. Alright. Well, I don't know where I was. What was I talking about? Oh, mana boots. Right? Like with Tranquil boots, you always have to go and like walk around the map and you have to hit a creep. With TP boots, you have to stick to an ally. With, you know, like treads and face boots, you always, well, you have to hit creeps, right? You always have to do a thing. The one exception to that are mana boots. With mana boots, you just get money. That's kind of dumb, isn't it? That you just get money for free. So here's what I was thinking. What we could do. I was kind of thinking we could put bounty runes around the map. Let's say there are 4 locations at which bounty runes spawn. Now if you pick up a bounty rune, you of course get a bounty rune, which is nice. But more importantly, if you pick up a bounty rune, so, I guess I should take a step back really quick. So, the mana boots would have a counter on them, right? So, it would count down from 100 to 30, or 100 to 0. And if you're at 100, you get 100% of the GPM they give you. And if you're at 0, you get none. And that counter ticks every second, or every other second, or however often. And the only way to refresh the counter and reset the timer is to pick up a bounty rune. Now that naturally limits how many mana boots there are on the map. It makes it so the mana boots actually require you to do something, right? It kind of introduces bounty runes, it introduces a natural point of conflict. I actually really like it. I just gotta figure out where to put the bounty runes and all of that. But that's likely what's gonna happen to mana boots. And yeah. What do you guys think? Do you like that? Like, I think it's gonna work pretty well. I like it a lot. Alright, we got lots of night vision now. Gotta be a... I don't know. It's kind of scary going up against their team, but... What am I getting here? Definitely getting Scotty. Something I like a lot is this right here. Spirit Wrestle. It means if you're behind, the winning team can't just camp them. It's gonna be difficult. That's going to be very difficult to do with the new map. And it's also got something to do with the map layout that you don't even know yet, right? Like, you're making assumptions based on the old map, which are inherently wrong because the old map is not the new map. So, you know. Don't try to make too many assumptions that are based on what you currently see in the game. Ah, I got hit by that Ember Spirit coming in. Why don't you just make mana boots multiply the bounty rune? Because that would just make it so that there's this massive burst of money at one instance, right? As opposed to this steady flow of it, which I like more. Also, they probably wouldn't tick down to 0%. I'm currently thinking 30 sounds really reasonable, right? And that would also be a thing. So, like, even if you have, you know, only 30% efficiency on your mana boots, passive GPM, you still get something even if you don't pick up a bounty rune. But yeah. That's kind of the thing. It seems everybody hates the idea, which is great. Every time everybody hates the idea, I think it's a good one. That tends to be what happens. Alright, let me grab this. I think I'm gonna go for the Lincolns right here. I got here not too long ago. I was wondering, is the new map going to be bigger than the old one? Yes. The new map is bigger than the old one. It's not hugely bigger than the old one, but it is bigger. So. Like, one of the big things about the new map is that it has a lot more access points for people. So, kind of like, it's going to be much more difficult to just completely lock somebody into one position and keep people away from something entirely, right? Like, it just won't really work that way anymore because of the new layout. Oh, man. Oh, thank you. That works. That works. Okay, I guess I can explain the new map a little bit. Like, it's not done yet. Like, it's still a work in progress. But one of the main goals of the new map is to make it so that the map is more... So, one of the problems with this map is that kind of the gameplay flow all takes place in the center area. Right, and in and around the center area. And that in and of itself isn't really too bad. The problem comes in at a different point. Being that, if you look at the map, it's kind of sectioned into three distinct areas, right? You've got the center area with the creeps, and the top area with bosses, and bottom area with bosses. And that's it. You have these kind of like three layers. You have bottom, bosses, mid, creeps, top, bosses. Now, because creeps only exist in a single area, And this single area really has one reasonable access point, and no more than that. You end up in a situation where it is possible to just kind of like zone people out of this entire creep area, because you only have to hold this access point, really. You don't have to hold everything else. And even then, because it like the way the shape it has, you know, like this is an access point here and this is an access point. So if you hold those two, again, the enemy can't really leave. So by making it so that the creeps are more integrated into the map, like they are generally more available on the map, we change it to a map that is much more accessible at all times. And that makes it so that you can actually have, you know, heroes avoid other heroes if you need to. And I think this is the main reason why coming back is so difficult, because of these access points being so limited. And again, that's something the new map addresses. It's like the biggest point that the new map addresses. I hope I explained that properly. Did that make sense? Alright. Did that make sense? Oh no. Hey. Oh, fucking Ricky, man. Right, so what I kind of did with the new map is I shifted the focus away from the center area and instead shifted it kind of to the outer areas. Made the outer areas not exclusively boss areas, but have them be a bit more integrated into the gameplay flow. We'll see how it works out. I expect the new map to require quite a bit of work. Right, I don't think it's gonna be perfect right away, but yeah. That's kind of the idea. No, they have Lincolns. That is rude. Rude, 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 I say. No! Rip my Winter Bible. Man, I'm trying so hard, but they are just trying even harder. Yeah. Can you show us a draft of the map? I got it somewhere. Yeah, give me 1 second. Well, that's not exactly what I was looking for. Here. This is kind of what it's gonna be like. So this is the center area, and these are base areas. These are base areas, and this is the top area, and this is the bottom area. And you can see the purple ones are bosses, and then these are creep camps. And the creep camps are a lot more spread out. They're not just all in the center area, but instead you can see there's like this there's this very inner circle, then there's this kind of like outer inner circle, and then there's this very wide outer circle. So you can't as easily keep somebody in one area. To kind of like showcase this a bit more, I actually have a beautiful piece of art. So if you take a look at this, this kind of shows the kind of like pathways and circular access points that are on the map. So you can see previously we really only had this and this area here. But now there are these wide, kind of like circular access points and arches that go throughout the entire map. So that's the plan. We'll see how it works out exactly. Honestly, I'm not too sure at this stage because it's kind of difficult to tell exactly. But we'll see. But yeah. All right. Oh my god. Man, this is so annoying. How am I missing everything? How is this happening, man? I don't know how I'm missing everything. It's kind of nutty. It's like, it's not like I have a high miss chance, you know, it's 17%. Oh, well. Oh, that doesn't give vision over there? I didn't even know. Oh, he got fucking Zeus. Yeah, Zeus is getting nerfed soon. The pull request for it is already there. We just gotta add all of that stuff in. But yeah. So that's gonna be the plan for the new map. I have a whole bunch of bosses ready. If you guys are interested in that, I can kind of like take you through those a bit. And then of course there's a new hero coming as well. Because, you know, you always need a new hero, right? It looks like you have less bosses on the new map. Yeah, there's one less boss. That is true. It'll be fine. Don't worry about that too much. But, anyway. So, I have currently 6 new bosses ready. For all kinds of different tiers. But it's actually gonna be more like 7 new bosses that are gonna be added into the game. As well as 1 new hero, as I've already mentioned. Right, so a whole bunch of stuff there. Like also making sure that we keep the basics alive, you know, like all of the stuff that, you know, people like about Open Angel Arena. Just kind of like keep pushing on those things and like expanding upon them. Man, my wrist really hurts. I mentioned it earlier, but for some reason my wrist hurts. And I don't know why my wrist hurts. It's really uncomfortable. Ow. Ow. But yeah. So that's kind of the situation. We already have, because of the bug bounties, we already have some people say that they are definitely gonna go ahead and try and get some of that stuff done. For example, Yannick from Epic Boss Fight. He said that he would make our new hero. Because he's like, yeah, I can make a new hero. Like, hell yeah, I'll knock out a new hero for 50. And then I was like, yeah, you get another 25 if you do particles. And he's like, do I? So he's probably gonna be doing that. And, you know, maybe like a new boss as well and all of that. So. Okay. Wow. Stun you, that's interesting. Can't say I expected that. Yeah, so there's like a whole bunch of bosses coming. Zoe is getting his W reworked. One of the changes that I really look forward to, here's something. So, currently, and this is something that's just kind of really stupid and weird and shouldn't be in the game, but currently there are actually 6 boss tiers. Now you may say, wait, that doesn't make any sense. Why are there 6 boss tiers? Shouldn't there only be 4, right? 1 for each core. And that's actually not true. I actually think there should be 5. 1 for each core, and then, you know, 1 last one after you have all the cores. So there should be 5 tiers. Now, I do agree that having 6 is stupid. Like, why do we have 6? That's fucking dumb. Right? Like, it's just dumb. So, the 6th tier, the 6th boss tier is getting removed. Now, currently, there is... Oh, what's that? Okay, that's weird. Alright, game. What's going on? Currently, there is a 6th boss tier. And there is a boss in that tier, which is Uriel. I'm sure a lot of you have seen him before. Like, he's the mirror of creation that you get at the end of the game. You know, and he's like really, really scary and shit. And what we're gonna do with him is we're gonna move him to tier 4. Currently, we also have tier 5 bosses, like the Temple Guardians, which will also be moved to tier 4. Now, you may say, wait, so are you deleting tier 5 as well? No, we're not actually deleting tier 5. We're keeping tier 5 around, but tier 5 is going to be a bit different. So, tier 5 is going to be a special boss tier that houses every boss in the game. Every single boss in the game will have a version that is their original tier. So, if they're like tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, right, then that is their regular version in the game. And then they will also have a tier 5 version, which is a much more powerful version of that same boss. So for example, Shielder or Charger, they will have a tier 2 version of that boss, and then also have a tier 5 version. So every single boss in the game kind of has a chance to appear twice. Once in their designated tier, or like 1 through 4, and then once in tier 5. So tier 5 is going to have a huge variety, right? Because the variety for tier 5 is literally every single boss in the game. And that's kind of the plan. And I think that's really cool. Does that sound cool? I think I'm really looking forward to that. I think that sounds really, really cool. So yeah. Well, come down here. I'm not the one that pushed him up there. But yeah.
Is it just me or is that zone date of Discord just ridiculous?
So early bosses are like, this isn't even my final form. Well, it isn't. It is not their final form. But yeah. I hope that doesn't include stat explosion right click bosses like blue here. Well, like blue here, for example, is very likely going to be removed. The thing is that because we're gonna have 6 new bosses, and because we are also no longer requiring bosses for 6 tiers instead only for 4, we can, of course, like that means that the variety within those tiers is much, much, much higher. That's kind of the thinking, right? That's kind of the cool part about it. So, no, we're probably not gonna need any of these placeholder bosses anymore. Instead, we can just do cool shit. So yeah. That's kind of the thinking. But yeah, there's just, I guess you can see, it's just a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff that I'm excited about. Winter Wyvern is, by the way, great at killing bosses. Like, the Q... Like, it's percent-based damage. It's amazing. It's actually just incredible. And yeah, we'll probably make the tier 5 bosses look a little different. You know, have them... Give them some sort of visual effect to show that they are tier 5s. On that note, I would also like to, you know, kind of like... have some sort of visual effect for all tiers. So, like, that players actually know which boss is which tier more easily. Although currently there are plenty of ways to know. It's not like it's impossible to tell. Oh my god, this stupid ogre. Oh man.
Wait, can I even have 2 bedlams going on at the same time?
But yeah, as you can, I think, tell at this stage, like, this is gonna be, like, a lot of stuff. Alright, like, I plan on changing a lot of stuff, and, I'm really excited for it, you know? Like, I think it's gonna be super, super cool and super awesome. And yeah, I look forward to it. Alright, for now we're gonna go ahead and, like, continue trying to beat this guy up. Yes. Oh man, the Lincolns. They all have Lincolns. Let me grab that. Yeah, this game, by the way, is a real struggle. I don't know if we can make it. Hey, Mewcry! Thank you for the 7 months up, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it very much. Okay. Alright. Well. Here they come and steal our boss.
God, I hate that little runt.
I'm not abandon my friends to a
That's rude. Dude, I can't wait for the Zeus fix. It's gonna be so nice to have. Aww. Alright, final duel, boys. I'm just trying to, like, kind of get out of the silence. Aww. Alright. Alright. Anyway. Oh, and another thing that's coming is Bottle Pass. Should be coming really soon, and like integrated MMR and all of that. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this, right? And yeah, I hope to see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.